The matrix world is a world of illusions, okay? So think about the yin yang symbol, and I always say that, one side is truth, one side is illusion. Both are necessary for the experience of duality to be had, but only one is real. Okay? So only the truth is real. The illusion is not real. Okay? And, God's people exist in the truth, and then the tares exist in the illusion, yin yang. Okay? You can differentiate this energy. It's all one energy, okay, that is at different spectrums of the light, so to speak. So, one end is without the light and one end is full of light, okay? So you can say this is God and devil energy. You can say it's light and darkness. You can say it's a positive and negative charge. You can say divine masculine and feminine energy. It's all the same dynamic, okay? Both are necessary. Only one is real. Okay, so when it comes to twin flames, love, and connections, the only thing that is real is the connection. All of the other things that appear in 3D are part of the illusion. So if there is a connection that has already been made, because the twin flame connection is infinite, meaning that it has always existed. Okay, you and your twin flame, if you incarnated in this reality together, you have always loved one another, which is why love at first sight exists. Now, I'm not saying that all twin flames fell in love at first sight. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that because twin flame love is infinite and eternal, it is possible, because as soon as you meet, it is possible to recognize one another's souls. Now, how probable it is because of, this reality, it's not that probable. My bad, I just kicked my desk, but it's not that probable that that you'll fall in love at first sight. It was not the case with me and my twin flame. I mean, I was attracted at first sight, but I had to get to know him. And I think, I don't know, I think we kind of felt the same about one another, I'm saying, around the same time. Or, maybe, one was just a little bit ahead of the other, but it was definitely a connection there. From the connection was there instantly. I think that is what will be there, but people don't fall in love at first sight. But what I'm saying is that, back to the subject at hand, because I didn't come here to talk about twin flames, but for some people, love really is in the air, okay? And I can feel it for those people who are going to take the leap and who are going to work towards your union. Congratulations, because it is the most beautiful experience that you can have as human beings. So back to the subject, because the subject is being the truth of, the truth in illusion. Okay, so when it comes to this type of love, twin flames, the truth is the connection. The illusion is the separation. And this is when it comes to twin flame love. This is when it comes to God and the creation, the creator and the creation. You know what I'm saying? This is when it comes to anything that love is holding together. What God has brought together, let no man put asunder, which means let no man separate. So the separation is an illusion, whether it's a twin flame separation, whether it is a separation between a mother and her child, you and your loved one that has passed on. The only thing that is real is the love. And at the end of the story, which we have not reached yet, my people, so don't give up. Okay, at the end of the story, what will be revealed is the truth. The truth is that, it's a lot of things that, right now, because the emotion of what you are experiencing is so intense, it's hard for me to say this and for you to receive it. But, death is not real. And at the end of the story, this will be revealed to you. You will be able to see the truth. Okay, at the end of the day, time is not real. So at the end of the story, you will be able to see the truth that time is not real, because all of these things will begin to collapse around you. Okay, some of us are thousands of years old, and yet we may appear to be younger than a person who in the 3D reality or in the higher realms is a younger soul. Okay. And so, this is why we cannot be deceived by our eyes, and we cannot lean on our own understanding, because the overstanding is so much greater. And the only one that is overstanding is the Most High. And the only way that we can gain the wisdom of the one that is standing over is to plug in. And the only way that we plug in is to go within, because that is where the Creator has placed his and her throne. The Creator and Creatress, okay, sit together but as one, okay, on a throne in the center of your heart, where there is a fire. Okay, two fires that have become one, hence the term twin flames. Before, I even connected the twin flame thing up with the fire, God told me that about, this story about how, I don't really want to tell the whole story, but basically about the first chair that he created. He showed me the chair. It was a brown chair made out of this very rich looking wood. And it looked like, of course it had to be the first chair that had ever been made. And he told me what had happened with it. It was his throne. He called it his throne. But, Satan broke the throne. Okay. It felt like, they were very like young in their like emotional development as being like human beings. You know what I'm saying? Like, it felt like, I guess it was Jesus, in the form of Jesus or whatever, God, whatever, form that God had taken at that time. He felt like more like a little boy in the spirit because of the innocence. Okay. And then the other one did too, but he was mean. It was the dark side. It was the shadow part of him. It was Satan, right? And he told me about the story when he showed him the chair that he had created, because, he is a creator, and Satan can't, he always going to want a copy, but he couldn't do it first. And he was mad, angry, jealous. And he told me that he broke his chair. And he let me feel the pain that he felt. It was the same betrayal that I feel when I, try to share something that I love with people, and they're not happy with me, but they try to find some way to destroy it. Yeah, I've been going through things like that my whole life. So he let me feel that pain that he felt when Satan did that to him. You know what I'm saying? But then he told me he said, but now my throne is in the fire. He said, my throne, I put my throne in the fire, and the fire is in your heart. And this is how I know. And this was before I even started noticing like the imagery of the pictures of like Jesus and any other deities that have like an illuminated heart center. And some even have that flame or that throne. And I'm sure there's some scripture that, that's also I'm going to, be able to tie into it. But, that was a story that, I think I've told it a couple of times, but, I was wondering whether or not I should share it, but why shouldn't the world know? Right. So that happened. And, this was the first, experience of jealousy and anger and hatred, and this spirit that the innocent one didn't know anything about, and he still heard about it to this day, which is why God's people who are still very innocent in your heart, the same way you carry the same spirit, you are still you are still experiencing these types of hurts, because your heart is just as pure. You know, your heart is just as illuminated, and your heart is just as also just as powerful, just as imperishable. And each time that you die a spiritual death, you will begin to see what the truth is of who you are, which is life itself, the one who cannot die, because you are the opposite of that which they call death. You are that imperishable Ak, that indestructible star. Peace, peace, peace.